Greetings, Gray Paladin here, and I have a review of the Ultrasabers Monarch. I will first begin with some dimensions. From the top of the emitter to the bottom of the pommel, it has a length of 11¼ inches. The widest point of the bulb measures at 2 inches, and the narrow part of the hilt comes in at 1½ inches. This saber I got with the nickel-plated finish. Because of the nickel plating, is a very soft metal and it is extremely smooth. One thing to keep in mind is because it is so shiny and smooth, if you want to keep it beautified, make sure you polish it every now and again, or wear gloves, or just wipe it off with a nice polishing cloth to keep it looking lustrous and shiny. At the emitter, we have step-down grooves and a choke point, pretty deep one there. And then you have this bulb section. And then notice we have 3 rings here for your finger grip. I like these rings. 1, I think it looks nice, and 2, they're very comfortable. It holds your fingers, it just nestles them almost perfectly. And when you put that in your hand, it feels so nice, like it was meant to be there. Now, because of those rings and because of this bulb, this is definitely a one-handed saber. Can you use 2 hands? Sure. Is it the most comfortable? No. Other sabers are better suited for that than this one. If I hold it with 2, it's a bit wide at that bulb point. I mean, that's 2 inches. So you don't necessarily feel like you have the best grip there. You could hold so that your pinky finger is above this bottom ring, and then you could do your lower hand at the pommel. That could work too, but it feels a little offset. The balancing just doesn't quite feel right. And because of that balancing, like this pommel is very light. Once you take it off, it doesn't have a lot of weight to it. It's not enough to offset the additional weight from the bulb at the top of the saber. And then once you add or include the blade, then you're talking even more weight towards the front. Now with that weight, handling this saber and doing a forward spin, it took some effort. I found that I got a little tired quicker holding this saber than, let's say, another saber that doesn't have all this additional weight there. When you include the blade and this bulb, when the saber goes down, you have to engage more muscle to pull it back up to your starting position. Now, in the reverse, however, it's much easier. The gravity takes over, the weight of that blade and that bulb there then allows it to come back up much more comfortable and faster. So the reverse swing is quite nice. The forward takes a little bit more effort, but the back is nice. Once that weight, gravity, inertia takes over, it pretty much just spins itself at that point. Now, in the unboxing video, the LED came up blue in the camera, and I discovered why. I got a violet amethyst, and when you take out the plug here, and I'm going to show you, it's utilizing 2 dye. So as you can see on the star map behind me, right there you see a blue dye, and on the bottom you see more of a red dye. And then those 2 combined together will give you your purple. With the blade plug in, I'll subdue that light just a little bit so you can see as well. Now there you can see a little bit more of the purple blend, but again, towards that top there's your blue, and the bottom, here's your red. This Monarch is equipped with the Obsidian Soundboard. I got the V4 Premium sound. Tapping the AV switch once gives me blade lockup. And I have silver flash on clash. Now, one thing I will say about this is I'm not as sold on the swings. Now, granted, there is a launcher you can download on Ultrasabers' website where you can change your fonts as well as just the saber parameters. I have not yet done that, and maybe I'll do another video later that shows that. But as far as the sensitivity of the swings, I'm not quite convinced on that. The upswing just isn't there. The down is great, but the upswing just doesn't register all the swings that I want to do. So I'm a little disappointed in that. I think the board could be a little stronger with that, but I'm not going to judge it too harshly because I have not played with that launcher just yet. This saber came with 8 sound fonts. The first is the default Obsidian. The second is Black Star, then Sith, Ancient Saber, Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 6, and then the 8th bank is a silent muted mode. To cycle through those fonts, while the saber's off, just press and hold the AV switch and you'll hear confirmation of the current sound font you're on. I was on episode 1. So just tap and you can cycle through. Episode 2. Episode 6. That's muted. We all know the Obsidian. There's Sith and Ancient Saber. Once you found the sound font that you want to use, just press and hold. It'll give you confirmation. Confirmed. And there we go, back in our episode 1 sound font. Now, one thing that's nice about having the 2 die in there, having the blue die, means that I can utilize this blue day blade and I can get a clear blue. I can also utilize a purple day blade and get a clear purple or deeper purple. So here it is with the mid-grade blade, and I like this blade a lot. I mean, the diffusion that's in there and just having that silver, it's not the ultra edge, it's just the standard mid-grade, but I really do like the clarity of the color that comes through this blade. So here you can see, compared to the unboxing video, you can see more of the purple down here. Sometimes if you rotate it more towards that blue dye side, it might show up a little bit blue in a camera, but to your eye, to the naked eye, you're going to see that violet amethyst. So now, accentuating the blue dye that's in there, I can place in a blue day blade and I'll get more of that blue. Especially against the star map, you can really see the blue reflecting against the moon there. If you have a single LED color, I'm really a fan of utilizing different day blades to toy around and get different color options with one saber if you don't have that RGB. Here's a purple day blade. You can see the entire table is illuminated in a purple hue. It's very deep, rich color when you have that purple day blade on there. So this is my first high-end hilt from Ultrasabers, and I have to say it is quite nice. Yeah, it's a little large compared to some other hilt manufacturers, but this one I think is one of their smaller hilts. If you think about it, it's only 11 and a quarter inches long, where some of their other hilts can get into 12, 13, 14 inches, which I think is a bit ridiculous, but this one is quite nice. It's unique. You don't see any other saber that looks quite like this one, and I like that a lot. It's very fitting that it's called the Monarch. Purple is the color of royalty, so having a purple blade combined with the Monarch is a great combination. One thing I noticed about this too is when you set it down, it looks like a chess piece. A pawn. Checkmate. What's interesting about this hilt, the unique design looks like something the apprentice of Darth Nihilus would use. I like it. Elegant, but powerful. I want to also point out that, if you notice, this hilt does not have a cover tack wheel. And a cover tack wheel is not an option on this saber. There's no logical place to install a CoverTech on this hilt. This spot right here is slanted, and I don't think it would fit very well there. You can't place it on this straight edge here because that's going to get in the way of your finger grip, and the pommel just would not make sense to install it there. Just would not fit very well. You could jerry-rig a D-ring on the end, but that would not be as aesthetically pleasing, and I think it would take away from the style of this saber. So just something to keep in mind. No CoverTech is an option, so you may have to utilize a saber sheath. Have the blade attached, put the sheath on your belt, put this in the sheath, and you can carry that on your side into your duel or cosplay, whatever your needs may be. So, first impression overall with Ultrasabers, they're nice. I think it's a good saber. I think the Obsidian Soundboard is reliable. It's consistent. Once I toy around with the launcher more, I can get into more in-depth detail with the quality of that. One thing that Ultrasaber says is that the Obsidian Soundboard is loud, and that I can definitely agree upon. It's very audible, and having this vented pommel the way it is, you get a lot of sound to come out of there. So having a loud soundboard coupled with a well-vented pommel, you're getting a lot of sound to come out. Let's give this one sweep through, starting from the pommel, get an up-close look. Here's our nice round pommel. Our 3 rings for a very comfortable and sturdy finger grip. The bulb with a non-illuminated AV switch. Choke point. Step down grooves in the emitter. The website says, Emery in his video says that the camera does not do this nickel plating justice, and I have to agree with him. It is very shiny, it is very pretty, very smooth. This is a unique lightsaber, and if you have an opportunity to get your hands on one of these, go you. You're fortunate enough. Apparently there were some reviews on the forum that I guess we're kind of hating on the saber, and honestly I'm not really sure why, and if they were, it's probably because they haven't held it or seen it in person up close. This is a very nice saber, I will say. So there you have it. That is my review of the Ultrasabers Monarch. Your comments are always appreciated. If you liked what you saw here and would like to see more, please give me that thumbs up, give me that like. I would really appreciate that, and subscribe because I have more sabers coming your way to be reviewed and revealed. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.